Hey guys, it's Carnivore Kipp. I want to thank Larry and Cassie at Carnivore Quest for reaching out to me while I've been struggling. On my carnivore journey, I lost over 100 pounds this year, but I recently have been struggling really bad and I gained 35 pounds. And I know that 90% of that 35 pounds was water weight, fluid retention, all that stuff. And so I've got to do something drastic. I've got to get this weight off and get to feeling better again, because I'm back over 400 pounds now, and I was under 400 pounds, and I was initially right at 500 pounds. So anyway, what I'm going to do for the next 5 days, and they challenged me to do this, is I'm going to document each meal that I eat. And I'm excited about documenting it because I know that it's going to help to keep me accountable. It's going to help me to get focused and to stay on track. And I desperately need that. I need to stay on track because Larry and Cassie, they even showed me old video of them whenever they started carnivore their first year. They were doing really good for a long time, but then, you start getting confident and feeling like you got things figured out, and they fell off the wagon over the holidays. And over the holidays, they gained almost all their weight back. And this was while they were filming on YouTube. And so it can happen even if you're on YouTube filming it and everything. The only difference is everybody else in the world sees it because you're sharing your journey on YouTube. And y'all probably can tell that I've gained weight. In my face, I can feel it, and everywhere I can feel it. And so this is a challenge that I'm excited about doing. It'll take 5 days to make that video, but whenever I make it, I hope that y'all will watch it because I desperately need to get back on track. But anyway, thank you to Larry and Cassie for showing me, for reaching out to me. Thank you to everyone for commenting and getting behind me on getting back on track. I love all of y'all. So put in the comments of this video if you've been struggling more recently on your carnivore journey, because I've been seeing some people comment in my videos recently that they've been struggling recently. And so it makes me feel like I'm not alone. Does the cooler months, or not just the cooler months, but this time of year where holidays are coming up, make it harder for you guys to stay on track? Or you guys just awesome at what you do and you never struggle? It's just easy for you. You just eat the meat and don't complain, don't never struggle. Let me know how it is for y'all. I know for me it's been a struggle recently, and I just want to know where y'all's minds are at. Are y'all having no issues at all? Or is there things that have been trying to get in y'all's way? Also, if y'all have any triggers, because we all might have different triggers. I know some of my triggers, and I've mentioned them in my videos. What triggers you to fall off the wagon? Because if you know your triggers, that can really help you to try to avoid those things. Like someone was telling me the other day that they were triggered to go to this certain restaurant or whatever. And, so what they would do was they would just drive a different route to bypass the restaurant to where they wouldn't even be tempted by it, because they learned that whenever they went by that restaurant, they were thinking about it. So that was a trigger for them. So what is it that makes y'all want to fall off the wagon? If there is anything at all, let me know in the comments. I also want to challenge myself to make sure that I walk every day. And so I'm going to document my walking for the next 5 days as well to make sure I get back on track with the walking. And I don't know if that'll be a video per se, but it will be probably something that I share either on my Instagram at carnivore_Kipp. I might share that on my Instagram just to help keep me accountable. Little clips making sure that I'm actually going on walks. Hopefully I can do that. I know I have a busy schedule with a family and a daughter, so when I get off work, they're my main focus, but I definitely need to get out and walk. I don't need to make excuses. If you're a person that believes in prayer, please pray for me that I can get back on track like I want to. Am I the only person that worries about the holidays coming up? I was talking to Larry and Cassie and them yesterday and talking about how, like, it seems like around October, whenever everybody starts focusing on like the trick-or-treating candy all month long, not just on Halloween. They have it at my office, at work, all month long, and people are, snacking more and things like that. And it seems like this time of year, people start really falling off the wagon and not caring about their diet anymore. And, I don't want that to be me. I don't want to be a person that just doesn't care because, oh, the holidays are coming up, Halloween's coming up, and this is coming up, and Thanksgiving's coming up. And then after Thanksgiving, we'll be like, well, Christmas is coming up, so we'll just be bad all month long. And then, you have New Year's, and before and after New Year's, well, then you got Valentine's Day and all that. There's always going to be another holiday. But I don't want to just live my life and just every time the holiday season comes up, I just gain all my weight back. So this is why I'm wanting to get back on track. Now, I'm not saying that I won't have an off-plan meal for Christmas or that I won't have an off-plan meal for Thanksgiving. But if I kept it to just that day and I didn't do it for a whole month, it probably wouldn't affect me at all. But it's whenever you make those decisions and you want to, eat like that every day for a month or weeks at a time, that really messes up all your progress. At least for me anyway. Because I can look at a carb and I'll gain 5 pounds. I mean, that's just the way it is. Like, I've got a friend that, my friend come over to my house yesterday. He can eat whatever he wants and he will not gain weight. The only way he can maintain his weight is by lifting weights. So he lifts weights to maintain his weight. If he stopped lifting weights, he would start losing weight. And I'm like, dude, I would love to have that problem. But my body's just not that way. If I look at a Twinkie, I'm going to gain 5 pounds. And so I know that about my body. So I have to, and I can't change that. So what I can do is eat right. Because eating right will take care of that situation. But if I'm putting sugar and carbs in my body and all this processed stuff, then it's gonna mess everything up. Now, when it comes to what I'm doing exactly, I'm not doing during this challenge, I'm not doing specifically BBB&E or line diet or anything like that. And I love all of those different challenges. But when I was talking to Larry and Cassie, it's really about just getting me back on track. And so the best way to do that is just, hey, you can have any meat that you want. Make sure it's fattier meat, like hamburger meat, or if you're gonna have chicken, let it be dark meat, or, use common sense, but fattier cuts of meat. But, and bacon and eggs and things like that. But, so that's what I'm gonna do. And I'm not saying I won't eventually switch to I won't switch to BBB&E eventually, but right now, when you're in this situation, you just want to eat meat and get yourself back on track. I'm also not going to allow dairy because whenever I eat dairy, when I eat cheese, it makes me crave other things. And that's kind of what kind of caused my stall this past time and caused me to go off the rails. I started having cheese for a couple weeks and it got worse and worse. I'd want more cheese. And then I started making like chicken wrapped bacon, cream cheese, like things in the oven. And I started craving cheese more and more and more. And then after a while, I just went off the rails. And like, it was not pretty at all. When I say I went off the rails, I went off the rails. So I'm not allowing dairy at all. And I think it's going to work out good by doing that. That's a good plan to implement if you're struggling, is do carnivore, but don't allow any dairy, not even heavy cream. Don't do heavy cream. Don't do cream cheese, don't do sour cream, don't do none of that stuff. Just eat meat. Make sure it's fatty meat. Make sure you're getting enough salt in, and make sure you have enough fat. So like if you have to, cook in tallow. I cook in tallow all the time, but that's what I'm going to be doing for the next 5 days, which I'm going to be doing it longer than 5 days. But these 5 days is to help me be accountable and to help me get back on track. I love all you guys. Oh, and I forgot to mention that Jamie E sent me some, I think it was Jamie E sent me some, like extra water bottles that I can fill up with and carry with me. And, it's not regular water bottles, it's for a soda stream. And so I can fill those up with water and carbonate the water. And then I have, Redneck Topo Chico. And I love the unflavored carbonated water. So that's the only thing I'm going to be drinking is plain uncarbonated water and regular water. That's it. And we're going to see how that goes. And I will step on the scale at the end of the 5 days and see what I weigh, because I went up to 417 pounds. And I'm not proud of that, but I bet you I'll knock some of that weight off in the next 5 days. Love you guys. See y'all soon.